mathematical necessity that, because the originating life principle is infinite, it is a single unit, and consequently, wherever it is at all, the whole of it must be present. And because it is infinite or limitless, it is everywhere, and therefore it follows that the whole of spirit must be present at every point in space at the same moment. Spirit is thus omnipresent in its entirety, and it is accordingly logically correct that at every moment of time all spirit is concentrated at any point in space that we may choose to fix our thought upon. Please say the affirmation on the screen or on your program with me, please. Soaring, well then follow along, please. Soaring on the wings of divine love, I sizzle with joy, vitality, and enthusiasm. I spring forth with a mighty faith to live the ever-evolving vision implanted in my heart.
Thank you, Nancy. So our theme this month is On the Wings of Love. And it just reminds me that this energy that we call love, that is synonymous with the word God or spirit, is that which buoys us up as we journey through life. It's the energy of our essence, our truth, and our reality. And all we need do is to continue to turn to that awareness, to more fully live from that place. And it is this energy of love that we have heard so much about that heals all, that is the impulse behind creation itself, that inspires us to create, to participate in the whole creative process of the universe, in our own individual lives and in community with others. And this energy of love that we're talking about is not the old idea of what the Course in Miracles calls special relationships, which means that I just give my love to people who are in my immediate family, or just a few close friends, or even on a national level only my nation. This is agape love. This kind of love was introduced by Jesus, the Christ, in just some of the things that he said that were so powerful. He talked about, love God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul, and your neighbor as yourself. He included self, others, and God all as one presence in which we extend this energy of love. And he talked about his spirit family as being, the family of humanity, being that to whom we give our love. And he demonstrated it over and over again, choosing love over fear. So this all-inclusive love, okay, how do we practically bring that into our lives? That's always the question that I have. And I was contemplating, as I've been watching the various presidential debates, how well am I practicing all-inclusive love? Because the tendency is for me to, I'll just share my own thing, is to just get all riled up about what some of the candidates are saying, which sounds so exclusionary that I am excluding them out of my own heart. I had to look at that. It's like, okay, am I really practicing what I'm teaching here? Dan and I had a discussion the other night. We're like getting all riled up about this, what certain candidates are saying. And then I prepare for this message. I'm going, oh my gosh, okay, back to the drawing board here. So that's what it is, isn't it? It's about continually bringing ourselves back to this higher form of love and realizing that these other candidates are in their own way thinking they're doing the loving thing. And fortunately, we have this beautiful democratic process where things just sort of work things out, they work out one way or the other, and we just keep progressing forward. So it's about trusting the process of life and the process of love. The other challenge for me is when I, and this just really goes back in memories, when I think back to how somebody did me wrong, you know what I mean? that kind of comes up every once in a while. And I really have to work. The conditioned mind wants to go back and feel like a victim and, oh, they were bad and blah, 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 blah. But fortunately, there is this essential presence within us that goes, wait a minute here. This is not serving anybody. It's not making me feel very good. It's not, it's not giving me that bigger, broader picture. And so fortunately in this teaching, we have tools to continue to bring us back. It's called forgiveness, to return us from that feeling of separation from the other and bring us back to, okay, all there is God. All there is love. Each person, whoever they are, is really an individualized expression of the same source that I am. And we're all just dancing through life in our own unique way, whatever our particular pattern is. So as I do that, I begin to relax. I notice my body begins to relax. And I return myself back to, then, a state of love and peace. So it's a practice. So I'm not saying that this is easy. But what I'm saying is having this beautiful teaching of all-inclusive love, the perfect love cast out all fear. What the Aramaic translation of that word perfect is all-inclusive love. All-inclusive love casts out all fear. A reminder that everything is love or a call for love. So each week, different aspects of this all-inclusive love are being explored. Last week, we explored the laughter as one of the great medications or medicines for the soul, and laughter as really a form of love, laughter and light. And this week we're exploring omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience, which sounds just very intellectual, so I'm going to do my best to have that be as much of an experience as possible. And then next week, vision and vitality, and the final week, enlightened enthusiasm. So I'd like to start with a story. There were some children who were walking down the lunch line in a religious school. And there was a sign on this big pile of apples and a sign on the apples that said, "Take only one, God is watching." And then as the children moved down the line, there'd been several children who'd already moved through, there was a big pile of chocolate cookies. And there was a little note scribbled by one of the kids that said, "Take as many as you want. God's watching the apples." So it just reminds me of some of the viewpoints that I was brought up with when I was a kid. The ideas that I had, whether it was actually taught in my particular church or not. We had these ideas, or I had these ideas, I don't know how many of you did or not, that somehow God was this man in the sky that was looking down on us and checking out whether we were behaving or not. Judging and maybe even condemning if we were being bad. And this teaching has a whole different paradigm, right? Instead of God being in this one location, out somewhere, wherever, this premise on which this teaching is based, and it's not just this teaching, New Thought, it's ancient wisdom, the mystics of all times. And we're all on the internet. We see it all over the internet. And it comes through in the sciences that there is this one energy, this one life, this one intelligence, one source from which all life arises. The terms that we're giving it is omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience. So when we look at these words, it's talking about presence. Notice I said presence, I didn't say present. Omnipresence. There is a difference here. Notice the difference between omnipresence and omnipresent. An omnipresent God. An omnipresent God still has a hint of that separation. But when we say omnipresence, God is omnipresence, omnipotence, omniscience, it brings us to a whole other feeling. I mean, just feel into that. Omnipresence, that means everywhere, everywhereness. You could say everywhereness. This presence, this one and only universal presence, is centered everywhere. Its circumference is nowhere. It is lasered in every spot because it's one complete, whole unit, presence. That reminds us that right here where I am, right where each and every one of you is, lasered that universal intelligence. This is mind-blowing for a mind that has been focused on a God out there somewhere. It's a very different sense. So in that awareness of omnipresence of the divine, which also means omnipresence of love, all love centered right where we are, there is a relaxation that I notice takes place in my very being, because it means this presence is me, expressing as me, and so I am always enveloped in and coming from that life, that presence and that love. Okay, so next one, omniscience. So omniscience, all power. Omniscience, all intelligence. So one of the things that can happen when we make this shift, because we're so used to having this God out there that we can have a conversation with, is we can get into, we can end up throwing out that beautiful relationship which was so dear to all of us, and have it feel very maybe dry or not very personal. But here is where the personal part comes from, is this omniscience. The all-intelligence resides within us as our true self, as our, some people like to call it our higher self. It sounds like a little bit of a separation there. But the truth is that we have this conditioned mind that we're working with that thinks we're separate. So until we get to the point where we're just completely, totally coming from that oneness, it's very healthy to have that conversation. Even Jesus had that kind of conversation, my Father, when he talked to my Father or our Father. And he was talking about our Father that lies within. He was talking over and over again about the kingdom of heaven is within, talking to the divine within, and having that very personal conversation that melts the heart and seeks guidance. So that's omniscience. We're tapping into the all-knowing mind of the divine as we turn within with that awareness. Then omnipotence, all power. Well, we just talked about how the all power of the divine is lasered right in the very center of our being. Our consciousness, where we focus our minds, all power goes with it. That's why it's so important that we are aware of where our thinking is going and course correct if it's getting off track. Because the all power of the universe is going wherever our attention is. So, back to the idea of the cookies and the apples, the judging God. Nowhere in this book will you see anything about a judging God. Nowhere in this book. This book talks about all of the things that I just mentioned. I'm going to give you a few examples. Page 460 of the Science of Mind textbook. The love of God is omnipresence. It is the divine givingness, the eternal outpouring of spirit through its creation. Page 302. All the power of the universe is with you. Feel it, know it, and then act as if it were true. It is not some power or a great power. It is all power. Science of Mind, page 40. We are surrounded by a mind or intelligence that knows everything. The abstract essence of beauty, truth, wisdom coexist in the mind of the universe, and we exist in it, and we may draw from it. So this explains how we can intuitively know something even though the reasoning mind does not know, and how we can anticipate a phone call even before it rings. Anybody have that experience, or be just thinking about somebody and they call? It's this being tapped in this universal mind. So this kind of God, all-inclusive love, is very different from the God that judges and condemns. True? Very different. So again, Troward said, Spirit is omnipresent in its entirety, concentrated at any point. So you will also not read anything in this book that says that God is separate or absent anywhere. Quite the contrary. That God is present. I did miss one of my readings that I wanted to share with you. This is about a God that, that a God is love. He said, it is impossible for a sane person to believe that God delights in condemning or damning anyone. God is natural goodness and eternal loving kindness and holds nothing against anyone. And also, no one judges us but ourselves. We need not fear either God or the devil. There is no devil, and God is love. So I want to give an example of omnipresence by taking this piece of paper. So this is a Thich Nhat Hanh principle. This is one of the ways that he teaches omnipresence, or what he calls interbeingness. And what he says is that everything is in this piece of paper. So there's a cloud in this paper. Why is there a cloud in this paper? Because a cloud produces the rain that waters the trees, that gives paper, right? So clouds, rain are in, and trees are in this piece of paper. Also, sunshine is in this paper, yes? Sunshine was required for that same process that we just talked about. The minerals from the soil are in this paper. The logger who chopped the wood is in this paper. All of the factory workers, all of the people who produced it, put it on the market and put it in the stores, all the people who worked in the stores that handle this paper are in this paper. The bread that fed the logger is in this paper. The mother and father of the logger are in this paper that produced the logger. So you see where I'm going with this. You and I are in this paper. It's in our perception, right? And every time we breathe, we're exchanging molecules that are part of this paper in and out of our being. This paper has everything in it. Everything is truly in it. And this is true about you and me as well. Interbeingness is just the nature of the universe. Everything is a hologram of the whole, contains the whole within it. Again, fortunately, we have science, and we have a lot on the internet to kind of help us along. Can you imagine presenting this kind of concept even 20 or 50 years ago? It's a challenging concept, even now, much less back then. So as we continue to acquaint ourselves with these principles, we more fully live from that place. So think about how prayer changes from that perspective of omnipresence or interbeingness or omnipotence or omniscience. The prayer changes. Prayer is now no longer about getting. It is about being. It's returning ourselves to knowing the spiritual truth. So if we get off track, we are returning ourselves to knowing the truth. There are great pioneers of New Thought, and Jesus is really one of them, who showed that when you turn your attention back to the truth, when we see the spiritual perfection of any situation, and we're well practiced at it, we use it as a way of looking at life, that healing takes place, a new manifestation. So, what does this say? What does this remind us of? Is that no matter what the distress or the discomfort or the disease is that may be showing up in our lives, right where that is also the fullness of the divine, as wholeness, as well-being, as peace, as whatever the quality is. When we focus on those qualities, there is a shift. I've had that experience myself over and over and over again, where I was feeling distressed or whatever. When I return myself to contemplating the nature of the divine, these qualities, peace, love, joy, etc., I notice it's like my cells and everything just start relaxing. I think they've shown underneath the microscope when somebody feels peace that the strand of DNA will actually loosen up. And when you're tense, it tightens up. So there's so much evidence for this, and yet it's a reminder as we move throughout our day, through whatever comes up, to keep returning to this higher truth. And if we do, we are healthier, happier people. Life just works better. So Jesus said very clearly, know the truth, and the truth shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. How about that? There it is. It's there. Know the spiritual truth, and it sets you free. So Emma Curtis Hopkins, who's considered the mother of New Thought, gave a formula for this. So are you ready to say it with me? I'll say it once and you can repeat it after me. She said, the good I am seeking is my God. And I'd like you to touch your center as you say that. The good I am seeking is my God. God is my life. The good I am seeking is my health.
The good I am seeking is my health.
God is my health.
God is my health.
The good I am seeking is my strength.
The good I am seeking is my strength.
God is my strength.
God is my strength.
The good I am seeking is my support.
The good I am seeking is my support.
God is my support.
God is my support.
Life is God.
Life is God.
Truth is God.
Truth is God.
Love is God.
Love is God.
Substance is God.
Substance is God.
Intelligence is God.
Intelligence is God.
God is omnipresence,
God is omnipresence.
omnipotence,
Omnipotence.
omniscience.
Omniscience.
Emma says that have a special time to make these statements of being. This will make you a great thinker. The mind of God will think through you. The words of God will speak through you. The joy of God will sing through you. The skill of Spirit will work miracles through you. The beauty of God will inspire you. The love of God will melt the heart, melt the lot of humankind before you. You will be so one with your words that you will be able to say with Jesus Christ, I and the Father are one. You will see that by speaking truth, you are spirit, and by speaking truth, you are omnipotence. All right. So I'd like to close with a beautiful meditation that I've drawn from a book that I'm reading called All There Is God by Walter Starkey. So I'd like to invite you to close your eyes and turn within and imagine your divine self speaking to you. I, the I am of you, is the way, the truth, and the life of you. Stop believing you are just a body, just a person. I am more than that. I encompass your whole world. Surround all that you thought you were. Surrender all that you thought you were, and accept your multidimensional nature. Follow the directions of the inner I am. Realize I am is consciousness. Keep turning into the I of yourself, and it will purify your whole being. I am the infinity of your being, and everyone else as well. There is only one I, and you are that I. Feel it. Know it. You are an individual point of light. God appears as your individual being. I am the cause of every desire, and every desire will lead you to me. I am appearing as your humanity as well as your divine self that is your cause. When you realize that I am expressing myself in the world as your personality, you are loving yourself, the I am. I'm going to repeat that. When you realize I am expressing myself in the world as your personality, you are loving yourself, the I am. I take let's breathe into that. Your body is a temple that houses the living God that I am. Enter the temple and take a mental bath by cleansing your mind of any sense of separation. Commune with your holy self. Feel all-inclusive love flow through. I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. I am the same consciousness as is in Jesus, Buddha, and other spiritual masters. From now on, remember that when you say I or I am, you are speaking the name of God. Honor it, care for it, love it. The I that you are is the secret of life and love. Those who love you know that within the body that you appear to be is the child of God, the I am presence. I am all-inclusive love. You are once more clean, whole, and ready to go back into the world with an expanded perspective, knowing I am that I am. So I invite you just to say out loud with me, I am that I am.
I am that I am.
And now open your eyes and look around the room and say to yourself, so that is what love looks like.
That's what love looks like.
Notice the walls. That is what love looks like.
That is what love looks like.
The chairs, the carpet, the lights, everything around you. That is what divine love looks like. Jesus said from the book of Luke, my family are those who hear the word of God and do it. So this is now a call for action. We're shifting gears here. You've heard the word of God. You've experienced who you are in truth. So the call then is to go out and take action. So here's the way that I'd like you to think of it. I am pure spirit, all-inclusive love, individualized, omnipresence, omnipotence, omniscience. So just repeat that after me. I am pure spirit, all-inclusive love, individualized. I am omnipresence. I am omnipotence. I am omniscience. Now act like it. And so it is.